plain disrespectful.
Yeah.
Hey, plain disrespectful.
Yeah.
We disrespectful.
To these.
We're not saying that part. What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Plain Disrespectful podcast. It's your boy, Grizzy Winter.
And you have me, Shoy and Pretty Boy Shoy, Georgette's son.
Georgette's son?
Yeah, I know. That's real. That's a real. Like, where's that name from?
I don't know, but it's terrible.
It's French.
Oh, I mean, you go take that to you gotta send it to my mom, telling her name is terrible.
Your mom's name is Georgette?
Yeah, I know.
I'm not doing NTG. I'm sorry. I'm just not.
See, exactly. Say sorry.
What did you think the G stood for?
I don't know. Gina? Speaking of mothers and family members, we have two very special guests in this episode. If you all want to introduce yourselves.
My name is Georgina. I go by Geo or Gina or whatever you would like to call me. That is respectful. And yes, I am Grizzy Gerald's sister.
I like the emphasis on Gerald because
she know me. She
exactly.
Government names.
Exactly.
Government names.
I'm trying to get Hollywood here.
Yeah.
But I'm just here minding my business. That is it.
And it's me, Tami, Shoyan's little sister, as everybody knows me as, apparently. So
does everybody know you as Shoyan's little sister?
Literally, from day one, like, oh, you're Shoyan's little sister? And, like, I'll get texts from him, like, I see you looking like a hoe, and people be like, oh, you're Shoyan's little sister. I'm like, why are you trying to talk to me? You know Shoyan's little sister. Back up. So it's weird.
Did you get that? Did you get that with people, like, when we were growing up? Like, people
Oh, yeah. I definitely got that. People being like, oh, you're Daryl's sister. I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, I see it. I'm like, I know. That's how genetics work.
I don't see it. And that's a compliment.
Damn.
Wow, really?
Damn.
Yeah, see, y'all definitely related, obviously, because the shots just keep ringing out and shit. It's just like that. It's like that. Today, while we have our family members in the building, we picked our sisters because A, they probably know us best, and B, they never really took our shit. So, this might get messy, but that's kind of what the podcast is. So let's do this.
Okay, so I mean, today, what are we gonna be talking about, G?
Well, there's a thesis that I created.
This is from.
I'm taking responsibility of this.
No. I'm saying this is a Grizzy philosophy, sponsored by Shoy too. Because
you're sponsoring this. You're putting out the money for my philosophy now.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I'm gonna let you be the best you can be.
That is like something you've never said to anyone ever.
That's love.
I know.
You're the kind of motherfucker who just literally
why are you making it all sappy now? Don't.
Yeah, I just want people to the level of I don't believe you that I'm getting at, because you're the kind of dude who's told me, he's like, I refuse to hug my little brother because that's showing too much.
I didn't say that. I said I don't show a lot. I mean, like,
you told me you'd only hug him on birthdays.
No, I said if
Trent says some fucked up shit like that all the damn time. Like, literally 2 years ago, he's like, oh yeah, I'm done with Christmas. And I'm like,
come
how
on.
you tell me you're done with Christmas?
Save me some money. I'm
exactly.
Like,
That's what I'm trying to say.
Now.
Like, come on. Like, first of all, as like Christmas is for kids.
Oh.
No.
No, your ass went Jehovah's Witness on us. Like,
no.
You're out here trying to be young.
No,
Michael.
for me, that's what it's come down to. Like, it's never like I never get what I want for Christmas. It's always I have to
6 inches.
And maybe 6 inches on your head.
You can take mine. They just make you a little taller.
I mean, nah.
Ooh,
let's not get into it. Let's
relax.
Exactly. So
back to the theory. Today's episode is going to be about the theory of poor pussy management, or P.P.M. as it's generally called.
Ooh, went right in there.
Yeah.
No soft touches today, eh?
No. That's such
and you were
weird...
just talking about...
If anybody else is uncomfortable with talking about this with their family, you're not the only one.
I feel like it's 2020 now, and like I literally know my brother inside out, so like it's not
true.
like
I've heard him sing it. I don't care.
Right? Like I've heard like him and my older cousin just talk about like their escapades with gal them, and I'm like, yikes! Like you all know I'm in the room, like
we don't do anything too crazy.
No, this is why I literally think all like men are ain't shit, like because.
So you pretty much saying because of you hearing my stories and
you, Dre, and Adrian, literally. Because
Dre, yeah. I can understand Dre.
This is we're talking about one of my cousins. He will definitely make a couple of appearances on this podcast because he is. I mean, even though we're the host of a Disrespectful Podcast, he lives it. Like it's in his blood. He doesn't know anything but disrespect.
Yeah.
Legit.
He's literally, you look up disrespect in the cold dictionary, and that's him.
It's just him with his face like this, with a backwood in his mouth.
Yeah, and like a do-rag, tied like Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, but again, so back to
the poor pussy management theory.
Yes. So break it down scientifically.
All right, it comes down on this. So poor pussy management is like the idea that sometimes some women have the
no soft touches. Just say
no. That's correct though. Don't go lump everybody together. You gotta go say some. We're in 2020. You don't want to be up in everybody.
No, true. I'm just saying. We don't have to say some. Just say there are individuals.
That's what I was saying. There's some individual women who have poor pussy management skills, which means they do not value, or they do not value, or they under or overvalue the importance of their vagina when it comes to relationships, and that carries with them goes throughout their life.
Okay, so what?
So for example, case study. There's a friend of mine, or a former friend of mine. She used to, she would always be involved with people who would treat her like shit. But then because of something they could provide for her, she would allow it. So she would undervalue her worth.
So your friend's a gold digger?
No, not even a gold digger. It wasn't like she was getting money out of things. It was she liked the extra amenities or the things that could come from being involved with
amenities sound like she's getting a house, a car.
She gets shit.
So she sounds like a gold.
No, but I mean, how is that bad poor pussy?
Because you're undervaluing your own self-worth just to get shit.
Or she knows that her pussy can get her that shit, so she's better use my shit.
Okay, but if that's the case, if you're gonna able to do that and you understand that, then why is it that you're out here complaining about the treatment you're getting if you're willing to price yourself out at that rate? You know what I'm saying? If you're willing to put a price on your
pussy, you accept the love
pussy,
you think you deserve, but at the same time, you want more for yourself.
Think about it. I understand what you're saying. Pretty much, you're saying that the girl is an Amazon example. That's the company.
She's Wonder Woman.
But she's Amazon the company.
Oh, okay.
She's Amazon, but she's valuing herself like she's a penny stock.
Yeah, it's basically
right. So she be making billions when she's only making thousands.
Right, and that's kind of the idea. It's just by misvaluing the representation of the pussy penny stock.
I like all those
again,
P's.
if y'all are uncomfortable with this sentence, I'm having this conversation sitting across from my sister, so this is super weird.
This is lit.
I just want to say for all the ladies who's listening, our pussies are not pennies. Okay, they're not pennies.
No,
they're ounces of gold. Okay,
no,
they're not pennies.
I'm not saying. I'm talking about I'm talking about
their self-worth is yes, they're not pennies, but the way that they treat their pum pum. That's a penny.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a gynecologist problem. I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The undervaluing of the pussy puts it in a pussy penny stock. When you have certain, and then you have the opposite, the flip side, where you have certain females who overvalue the stock of the pum pum. They treat it like gold, but then they don't really have anything to back up their investment. You know what I'm saying?
Your opinion.
Yeah, but hold on. It's just again, it's like a company. It's okay, you can get all these people to invest in your company, but if you don't come up with product or quality product, that stock is overvalued.
What's a quality product if you're getting pum pum?
No, I'm not.
No, go ahead. You said you want a quality product, but you're saying the pussy's not worth it.
No, I'm not.
So what's a quality product if she's giving you pum pum?
I'm talking
about style over substance, essentially, right? So if you put how you look and stuff, and there's nothing underneath.
You're hollow.
Yeah, you're hollow. Then you're overvaluing just based off
because she got daddy issues and shit.
If it's just all she can give is just vagina. Same thing with the guy. If all he's giving is dick, there's 7 billion people in the world. You can find a dick that's like that has a personality that's like maybe like 5 points off.
Right. Everyone's hollow in some way. Let's not lie to ourselves. Everyone's hollow in a way that when it comes to a situation, to whoever you're dealing with, like I think that when it comes to women and like, you know, pussy power, some women have no problem walking the world saying, you know what, like I know what I am. I know what I can bring. I'm going to get what I can from you because this is a man's world, but not today for me and what I need. I'm going to get what I can. And then there's other women who think that, you know, looking a certain way, acting a certain way, being a certain way, not being genuine is going to catch a type of man that they want. But it's like, no, you're catching somebody different. You're catching a different fish, bitch. Because that's not...
exactly like that WAP video. Like how everybody's going like mad about it because like they're like talking about like this wet ass pussy shit. And it's like... Okay, but like Cardi B says what? She's like, I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me show you how I got this ring. And he's like, you ain't gonna catch a man that way, but like Cardi did it. So like a lot of girls are doing it and they're still making OnlyFans and shit like that, and they're still got like man coming after them.
Can we talk about the OnlyFans? Like I like that. I said this meme, which is like so true. Like a lot of bitches got on OnlyFans thinking they're about to blow up, and really they're just making the same money as their local rapper right now.
I mean, you know what? Some of the people I know who do OnlyFans, they make good money. So I'm like, I'm not mad at you for that because that's on top of your day job.
Oh yeah,
so.
no, I'm like, if you can do it, you can do it. But I just have a problem with people like complaining. Like if you treat yourself if you want people to treat you like you the shit, you got to treat yourself like that. Mm-hmm. It's like. You like sometimes like even if
but that comes back to the fact that like Gerald said that like you be saying that your pussy is gold, but then you don't really have anything to offer.
Exactly. It's like this. It's like if you're dealing with a chick, right? Like you have a certain girl who only deals with like thug niggas, right? Like she only fucks with like thug dudes, and then like. And then she goes from a different type of thug dude every time. It's just like, and it's going like, I don't understand why they always treat me bad. Maybe it's because you keep fucking with the same kind of dude in just different forms and shit.
Sometimes also too, it's not necessarily the woman's fault. It's just that also too, who is attracted to her. Sometimes it's just like the certain type of man that's always attracted to that person. And let's not lie to ourselves. People have a preference, and some people really get in their feelings about having a preference or even having specific things that they expect out of people because. I mean, in this case, it's almost kind of a question of like, what's the context of the relationship you're having with the person? If you are in a relationship in a way where it's like, listen, I just need your dick, I just need your pussy. Don't call me, don't text me. I'm not going to brunch. Don't bring me no flowers. Like, I don't even know why you calling me. It's not after 8. Why are you calling me? So, you know, if you're
that sounds like a pretty. Like that's perfect.
That's like that's communication.
See, this is why I think niggas ain't shit because
keep it. No, but
Troy's the kind of guy who leaves a girl who like hooks up with a girl and then looks at her in the face and goes like, "Well."
Yo, Dad.
Cool.
Did we not have this conversation? If we
but hold on.
Though?
Like the thing is though, it's okay because like me and that person have discussed and if she feels like she wants to like change the contract. Then
that's a discussion. That's communication.
Like, and I don't lie to these people.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's like, am I bad? It's like, but then I feel like it's wrong for the person to expect me to be like, okay, like I told them like what my intentions are, what I'm gonna do, and then they get mad because I don't feel the same way when I kept it 100 with them.
But sometimes it's in your behavior though, because you could be saying one thing and then your behavior be showing something totally different, so it makes the girl think that you want something more.
I don't know.
Okay, but
I'm a logical thinker. If I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you I don't like it. If I'm catching feelings for you, I'll tell you I'm catching feelings. I don't really switch up.
Yeah, but that's another thing with bad pussy management, because like literally, if it's like like behavior and stuff like that, and so like people would just be like, okay, you said what you said, but then your behavior is different. So like then the illogical thing comes in with girls, because like we literally internalize a lot of shit, and we don't say a lot of things to you because we have to pick our battles. Because then if we do it as black women, we're angry black women. So then if a white girl does it, they're like, oh yeah, she's just crazy. It's whatever.
She white, whatever.
Honestly,
and then you can just find another one, dime a dozen kind of shit.
See, me, I'm different. I assume all women are crazy. All of them.
I mean, we basically populated the world, so yes, we have the power to do things.
I'm not hits black women thing.
It's what you give us, and that's what you're gonna get back. Because honestly, at the same time, like you guys be like, oh yeah, y'all are crazy, but like,
why are you lumping me?
I'm saying men in general.
I don't lie to these girls. Like that's why sometimes I probably leave some pussy on the table just because I'm completely honest. They're like, oh, I didn't like the way they said that. Oh, I didn't like the way you said that. I'm like, well, I'm being honest.
Hold on, can we also talk about the thing that's just like like the attraction thing. Like you can be attracted to somebody and be talking to them for a bit, and then they do something that makes you like that is like mad unattractive to you, and whatever.
And then what?
And then like. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're into somebody. You like say you hook up
This
or whatever.
sounds like a very, very
specific like,
question.
No, I'm just saying. Like, is that like we're talking about like you were just Tami was talking about how like how women internalize a lot of things, and if you say and act one way, it's like you think something else. If I'm in like say you're into somebody and it's like cool, y'all hook up, and then they do some like say y'all go to a restaurant or something, and they're just like mad rude to like everybody there, and that's just like super unattractive. If you choose not to like continue with that thing, some women can like internalize that like, oh, you were just like playing me and this and that. And then if you explain the truth, it's like, no, like I just didn't like this one thing.
I feel like you should explain it at that time so then it doesn't.
Yeah,
look like
me, I nip that shit in the butt. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, you acting foul.
Yeah.
I'm like,
if we're out and about and you act up or do anything, we both are grown. We both pay taxes.
Yeah.
We don't need to lie here.
Yeah, no, it's
So
not
we
a lie,
just
but
need
see,
to just tell
you
the
clear
truth.
it out. Like I'm not saying don't clear it out or tell. Like you should clear it out in the moment. But it's like if that's like. You know how like there's red flags and like something like that happens, and like okay, cool, we clear it out.
It literally just sounds like you're just trying to justify ghosting some bitch. So just say what you want to say. Come on, bro.
pew 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 pew.
But you know what? That's a good point you made, Tami. Is that you know what? It's men who feel like, and it sound. I don't want to sound trash for saying this, but some men really like. They talk a big game, but it's like, you're not even able to use your words, man. You can't even communicate. Like, I'm a big girl. Like, you can make me cry in the moment, but I'm not going to continue to cry over you. Like, that is a thing.
I'm
So it's
sad.
like...
It's angry tears.
Yeah, and it's more just like, also the disrespect. Like, it's kind of like, okay, like, listen, if you were to...
Plain disrespect.
Okay. Well, it's disrespectful because it's like, listen, like if you see her, like for example, you take a girl out, she look bomb, you at a nice restaurant, she treating everybody like trash, like they need to be bow down to her like she's somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a put off. That's a put off. But for you not to say anything to her is doing her a disservice because she's just gonna continue going on dates with these men and keep having them ghost her and not understand that like, yo, you do certain things that put people off and she has no idea.
No, like you should definitely. I'm not saying don't tell.
No,
them,
but
you can definitely.
But let's be honest. I mean, there's a lot of guys out here like that. The fear of loss is in their like soul. Like they're afraid that if they say something, they might lose like the chance of messing with this girl or like in the long run. And like it's.
Deal breakers.
Yeah, like some people are very loose with their morals.
I find that true. I find that like
especially when it comes to the opposite sex, they're like, I will never do this and do this, but then it's like that. But like if they feel like someone that likes them or they want to get with like is not down for that, they'll instantly switch up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of like like we're taught that. You know what I mean? Like. You know, you start dating somebody, and so you like, put your best foot forward. But your best foot forward in like the first couple times you're dating somebody, the first little bit you're dating somebody, you're really not being 100% yourself. You're trying to be the best for yourself, and that's the person that a person falls for. So then when you get into a relationship, like 6 months in, and you're
I
actually
definitely can't be my 100% self.
Well, we know that.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, I don't.
Wow, I'm the only one out here acting crazy on the first date. No, I don't care. I just don't care.
I have to definitely like act like I like people. Like
you don't like any. You hate humanity as a whole. You're like, yo, if you could, you'd be like, fuck it, burn it all.
Listen, if I had a balcony, I wouldn't have left the house.
Right? Like, fuck out of
honestly,
here.
if I had a gym in my house, I probably would never leave. Honestly, like Gerald is probably the person that gets me out like 70% of the time.
Because you can't hermit in the house. It's weird and creepy.
It's to you.
Depends on how you make your home. Depends on how if you make your home a place where you're so comfortable, it's an oasis, and you just, like, I don't know, man. I love being at home. I stay the fuck at home.
Thank you.
And people are boring.
Yeah,
people
like I hate
boring.
making small talk. Small talk is actually like just the bane of my existence.
Oh, where did you? Oh, look at the no, shut up, Karen.
People are boring, but I love to watch them squirm when you have certain conversations with some people, especially like 2020 is a shit year. It's a dumpster fire,
It's lit.
I love watching people squirm when you mention the word race. Why are you squirming? Why are your hair standing up? Are you scared?
That reminds me of this time I was working at like a retail store, and then like I was playing some music and it had the N-word in it, and then this lady comes up, she's like, oh, you should turn this off. It's swearing. And I'm like, I didn't hear a swear word. Please tell me, what was the swear word? But some white lady, she wasn't going to say it. So
Yeah.
I love making people swear.
Okay, do y'all get this thing too? Do you ever like remember going to like a restaurant or a bar or something? And like I swear, like this happened like all the time. Like I'd walk into a place and like 5 minutes or 2 minutes after I get into a place, all of a sudden like a rap song comes on and shit, and you're like, okay, this has happened like 11 times. I just don't feel like a coincidence.
I have a nice little story about my nails. So I'm a psycho and I love my nails. I love myself, whatever. And every 2 weeks I get my shit done because I don't care. So walk into the salon, they're playing whatever music. They always play, they know me, so like whatever. All white people, but that's just Vancouver. All white women in there. So I was like, okay, let me mind my business, get my pedicure. They played WAP. They played the video for WAP, and I have never seen everybody look so... It's porn. It's basically porn. Like, oh my... bodies. It was so interesting to watch because I'm like, okay, like,
but I don't understand why.
Like I'm watching these Asian girls just be like, yes, bitch, wow, like yeah, whatever. Like they're just fine, like wet ass pussy, like, and then I'm just sitting there like, yeah, all right, let's watch everyone else squirt.
But that's not even that vulgar though, because like if you look back in the day and you watch like Lil Kim and like what Foxy Brown and shit like
Remember
that was
BET Uncut?
Listen,
The tip drill is the most legendary video there is.
good.
Nelly like made an art form about disrespecting pretty much women with that video. It was literally like, no, people need to calm down.
And people are upset because they're women, and it's like, listen, like just because it's not on your time and on your what you imagine women to be in your head sexually, it's wrong. It's vulgar. It's obscene. It's like, okay, so men and women, mostly men, for most of music's history, have been saying wild shit about women for decades. So women all of a sudden talk about their bodies in a positive way, and they, they love themselves, and they're,
we're excited.
like, it's like, how dare you? You know you love it too, so what?
Exactly. You just don't want us to be like, this is literally it. They want a lady in the streets and the freak in the sheets all the damn fucking time. But like, if I'm both at the same damn time, you can be like, oh wow, how dare you? You're vulgar. I don't want you. I can't marry you.
I don't
That's
really
not
want a
like
lady.
you.
I don't really want a lady in the streets. I want like a Bonnie and Clyde type of thing going on. I want her to be shooting pew pew pew
Facts.
all day.
All day.
And freak. I mean, if she wants to be a freak, but I'm not. I don't need no like super freak.
Word.
What? It's like, I think with that whole thing, it's like, I've lost my train of thought because I was like thinking something. With the whole freak thing, I find that like with the women who like are into that specific thing, it's like it's not that they're not everybody's wifey material. I think that's just like
not everybody.
not everybody, but like do people have everybody has qualities to make you like them kind of thing. Depends on who you're into.
Yeah.
That's very political and diplomatic of you.
I know, it's I'm trying.
You're just trying to play the fence, eh?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think but it's like there's certain people that like that's their main thing. It's like the purpose of measure thing. If all you have to offer is like some freaky shit, then where's the rest of the value and like whatever?
No, that's for them to figure out though too. It's like it's up to individual people to find out like, okay, like if I'm going to be continuously in these situations with certain people and having poor pussy management and just throwing it at everybody, then obviously you have to look and be like, okay, like I'm just getting ain't shit people. So let me just not get ain't shit people.
Or
and do
maybe
things
you're
a
not
different
that
way.
person that makes that girl be better because maybe you're not like drawing that out of her and she wants to be better for you.
No, exactly. Because like no matter what you want to like, people like I look at like Michael Jordan example, like kind of a shit person. Like he's a big asshole, but he made pretty much the NBA like one of the biggest leagues in the world just because he was that great. I mean, depending on the person you are, like usually if you're a good leader, you can bring out greatness out in other people.
Yeah, I think that depends on like personal growth. I think personally for me, like I think it's really selfish if you're still like trying to figure yourself out and then trying to get in a whole relationship with somebody.
Oh, that's everybody out here. They're
Yeah,
lost.
no, but
Everybody
that's hard. Like everybody's like.
No, I get like there's levels to this shit, right? Like if you're starting on your journey of like self-discovery and growth and shit, then like you should probably just do your own thing, right?
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, you don't know what is going to be the key that unlocks somebody's, right? Like, it might be that person. Like, it might be, like, the only thing that...
It might or it might not be. But you have to
That's why you got to take that chance.
Mm-hmm. Right, you're never gonna know. You're never gonna know until you actually try. Right, like some people, example, like they might have like kids like when they're super young and they weren't like super loved by their family, and then since they had their kid, like they found like kind of like the love and companionship that they need, and they become like their full self. Or it could be somebody like the adverse, like they have their whole family but never feel in love, and then they're messing with ain't shit people.
Well, what do you think that your like the way you grew up is like kind of reflects on your the relationships you've had?
Yeah.
Oh,
it always
definitely
intertwines because it's still like no matter what, like whether it's a family relationship, an intimate relationship, a friendship, they're all relationships in some form.
Yeah.
So no matter what, I think that they do kind of intertwine when it comes to family, friends, your relationship with yourself. How do you treat yourself? How do you care about yourself? What do you love about yourself? Because at the end of the day, it's like as hard, as shitty as, I mean, God, as much as we all hear this and it's just like eat, pray, love type shit, it's like you really do have to love yourself for other people to love you and see kind of what you see in yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you're just talking shit about yourself to everybody.
Do you oh, okay, sis, like for you, like with growing up, do you think like how we grew up kind of influenced like how you started seeing relationships, or did you just kind of figure that out on your own?
I think I kind of figured it out on my own. Having parents of divorce, that was kind of like, okay, like to me as a kid, it wasn't. To me, it was weird because
let's get into the stories.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm confused. What does that feel like? Because like me and Shoy both come from a single mother. Like we've never really been in a household with both parents and then them separating.
I don't remember having.
It was fucked up. Like, I don't remember. So when our dad left, like I was 6, you were 2. You were 2. So I was 6, she was 2. And like our parents' marriage was already like super toxic as it stood. Yeah. Like our pops was like cheating and he was abusive and all that other shit with our mom. So it was like, but I was a kid, so I didn't know. I saw it, but I didn't recognize that because like I just remember my dad like take us to like Burger King and like take us to
beaches and stuff.
And take us to our cousin's house
every other weekend.
Whatever. So like I didn't have a negative view of my father at that time, right? And then my mom like kicked him out, like locked him out and like whatever. And then he was gone. I just remember bawling for like 4 days. Like 4 days I was just like crying. Like everything was a mess. And then the divorce was super messy. So it was like, because it's like, it's one thing when it's like your parents, you only have one parent growing up. When your parents split up, right? I've said this a couple times. It's like, with our dad gone, it was like our mom is working 24/7. So it was like for me, it was like I didn't have any parents. Like Auntie P was like mom for me basically because she would stay and watch us and like take care of us. And my mom was like always at work, and like my dad now like barely saw us maybe on weekends, and then he up like a couple years later he just up and took off to fucking Calgary and didn't really say shit.
But in relation to like relationships, I would say like it definitely influences the way you view relationships. But like I don't know. I think for me it's like I always kind of was like, you know what, I'm gonna not judge anybody, and I'm just gonna go out here and hope that just talking to people and getting to know people will be enough, because I don't want to have this perception of somebody or people or men that is negative that isn't warranted for that person, because that's not fair to them. So to me, growing up, it definitely like, I mean, our mother didn't really date or anything like that. So it's not like we have had men in the house at all. So it was kind of just like...
Your mom was just keeping it gangster, eh?
Yeah, she was just like, I have 2 kids and like, I have this house. That's it. Like, I'm just trying to like live. And like, she was not trying to like bring men. Because I think also too, I think she did tell me like a fear of hers is like, she's like, I don't want to bring no man into this house and have it become either he doesn't mess with my kids or he's going to put this pressure on me to make me choose. Yeah. Well, and she's had that happen to other girlfriends of hers. Oh, yeah. So she was like, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, well, you don't really have a choice, that a lot. Girl. I'm not going nowhere.
Shout out to your mom. Shout out to all the good moms out there, you know, putting their kids in making sure that
they come first.
They come first and not...
And putting up with my ass.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely your ass. Definitely your ass. And kicking ain't shit motherfuckers out. Shout out.
I think that's the one thing I learned in a relationship that I realized like just from our mother was just kind of like hearing her talk about what like our father would do and the way he would act. And then even as I got older as a teenager myself, before we stopped speaking, I would kind of start to notice the way he would talk, and I was like, oh, so you a real fuck nigga? Okay. You a real, like, I'm like, oh, so you a real fuck nigga, though? Okay.
But does that give you trust issues, though, like, with your relationships to this day?
No, I don't. I've never had any trust. I've only ever had trust issues in a relationship when that person's made me feel like that. Never just from, like, if I've had previous experiences where I've been, like, felt like sketched out or had kind of issues where it's like, oh, you seeing somebody else, but you just kind of keep it, like, you know, things like that. I've never had it come from, like, a place of, like, memory and emotion from a child or even, like, as a teenager. It was always like, okay, this is the situation right now. So, yeah, I think it just made me see red flags a lot clearer because it's like, oh, so you lie. Oh, you think you cute. You manipulative. Cool.
You don't think I know the game.
I feel like I have more trust issues, but, like, I feel like I don't trust you from the jump, and I literally will be like, you're guilty until proven innocent with all relationships. So, like, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I want them to show me in their actions more than their words before, like, I think that they're innocent. If you have your phone down on the table, face down, I have nothing for you. Oh, I don't give a fuck about your phone. I'm not worried about that. No. I see way too many.
Why is that a thing?
Because that's the thing. So when a man, and I've dated a man who did this, and like, every time we went to ice cream, went to whatever, his phone would always be like this. And I'm just like, okay, that's fine. Like, maybe it's just a habit. But it got to the point where, like, one day he just left it like that. And he was like, no, I got to flip that shit over. And I was like, oh, so you're worried. Who is she? Where she live? Are we going to be friends? Probably.
Honestly, I feel like I do that stuff, but I don't got hoes like that.
When you're dating a new woman, she'll notice that. A new woman, if it's been, like, months and it's, like, whatever, it's different. When it's been,
I never
like,
understood that. Like, I don't
I didn't even know
in
that
your
was a
pocket.
thing,
Like, you have shit to hide.
I feel like we do that. I feel like we do that, like, naturally.
Men are actually mad dumb. Like, I don't get it.
Dumb.
Honestly, I do that naturally. Honestly,
I never even do that as a thing.
I'm like, I don't need you to be looking at my business. What's in
I don't care. If you see something that hurts your feeling, that's your business.
No, I don't look. I don't care what's in another person's phone.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna keep my phone up. If I see something that hurts my feelings, that's my business. Because why am I looking? Why am I being nosy?
True. See, exactly.
I'm nosy. I'll admit.
Also,
first
but
rule
I'm
of
still
business:
gonna check you,
mind your own.
If I get hurt about something that you lied to me about, and if I asked you about it beforehand, then that's your ass. Your ass is grass.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worse.
I'm small, but I'm fucking.
Just being like even honest to the point of like it being like it's probably gonna suck later is better than like getting caught in a lie. I feel like.
Thank you.
I think we should. Can we get on a little bit of a happier mood? I feel like this is like real deep, like therapy session.
Yeah.
All right. How about let's talk about some families. Like, tell me some shit I did when I was younger that fucked up.
Yeah, like what? Like how was Gerald when he was younger? I know he had a big head. I know he had a full head of hair too.
Yeah, what did he look like when he had hair? That's a thing. Did he have braids?
No. You saw me when I had braids.
Those were good braids.
Yeah.
When did you have braids?
When I used to come around to the neighborhood.
I don't remember that, but
Your sister doesn't even remember when you had braids. You're like, that was so long ago.
We weren't really.
You had hair. I remember there being a like bandana, like.
I remember blonde curls because I know the frosted tips were.
Frosted tips.
It was grade 7. It was grade 7. I was watching a lot of X-Men Evolution.
That's in sync. Don't
There's a
play
lot
that
of what
shit.
No, he was
Backstreet Boys bullshit.
No. I literally was watching like X-Men Evolution. There was this black kid on there.
Oh, you trying to be Cisco?
No, there's a
Spike.
Spike with the blonde hair and the skateboard. That's what I was like trying to do that.
Oh, you see.
Yeah, Spike was dope, but like no, that's not a look. Do you have pictures?
It's on my.
They're all at our mom's place, so she has she stays with boxes of photos. Boxes, like
word.
She's just like, I'm not getting rid of shit. I'm like, oh god. Okay.
So when Gerald was younger, what was something that irritated you about Gerald, or still irritates you?
When we were younger, never being able to be like watching a show. Like I was always like. Like everyone else got to choose the TV and it'd be like, oh, you're just gonna watch what we watch like all the time, to the point where I was like, okay, I'm either watching soap operas or I'm watching like this like comic book shit, and it's like I don't want to watch this shit. Let me watch something.
Oh, I feel your pain. Trust me, I live with them. Like, I live with the comic books.
Look, don't hate on my medium choices, okay?
I did not, but I was not pleased about that. There was one memory I'll never forget. It was elementary school, and I think you got up that morning because you were in high school and I was in elementary school. But you got up that morning, and I guess you made something. And I don't know what our mother did at Costco because she loves Costco. Costco stays pretty loyal. She went and got a 4-liter like a thing of maple syrup, and I was like to refill the bottles. And I was like, first of all, we're not an IHOP. We don't need that much maple syrup. I
already see where this is going.
Okay. So I woke up that morning, and I'm like walking down the hallway, walking into the kitchen, and I step into this puddle of maple syrup. The broken bottle is in the middle of the floor.
God damn.
And I'm like screaming, and I'm like walking around the house, and I'm like, okay, I know he went to school, so he's just gonna leave me with this shit. And it's like, it's like starting to seep underneath the fridge. Ooh. And I'm literally just sitting in the kitchen crying, and I'm on the phone with my poor mom at the hospital. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do, and I need to go to school, and it's hot and sticky.
Oh my God.
It was so bad.
How old were you?
Oh, I must have been maybe 10 or 12.
I'm just scared just hearing thinking about like the beat.
I don't fuck with maple syrup.
You were pretty much an ain't shit nigga in the beginning.
Yeah, you just left.
I just left your honestly, I think because I don't really remember this, but I think what happened was like I took it out to like make pancakes or something, and I left it on the edge of the table. Like I was like,
everything was on the edge of the table every fucking week.
Every time.
So that's the same shit he be doing though.
It's like that shit gravity works, right? Gravity works.
You want to hear a fucked up story? So when we were like really, really little, right? And this isn't just me; it's like a family thing. So she was like a baby, still in the seat. And we were sitting there eating breakfast. Like my mom made like cereal for us, and my mom put my sister on the edge of the table.
Oh,
she don't care.
So I'm like sitting there eating cereal and shit, and she's like walking back and forth, and the whole thing falls over. Like the seat and everything falls over, like face first. Huh. And she falls on the floor and she starts like bawling, like crying and shit. And my mom runs in, she's like, "What you do?" And I'm like, cereal. Like I didn't do shit. I got smacked. I got beat. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. Like I didn't do shit. You left her at the end of the table.
She's probably like, why didn't you just snatch her? What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Why didn't you catch her? I'm like, I'm 6.
You could have pushed her in if you saw it on the table.
No, like.
Come on, big bro. Save her.
I'm saying Jamaican mothers expect so much. Expect so much.
Oh yeah. Sex supposed to well, like that was
not ours though. Okay. Let me backtrack that. Our mom expects a lot from one of us, not from the other one so much.
So you.
Yeah, most of the time. Because also too, she puts a lot on girls. She has a very like old school mentality of like, you're the girl, you have to clean, you have to cook, you have to this and that. Where it's like, my brother can just run wild and do whatever the hell he wants because he's a boy. And it's like,
that's not necessarily, there was a couple times in high school where I would be out like with friends like late and I'd have to come home and like sleep on the fucking balcony and shit.
Yes, yeah, on the balcony.
Fuck yeah, that's what you deserve. What do you mean?
You know what? Okay, you know what is messed up? So when she got old enough, I remember there was one time I couldn't get in. So like, mom would either just like lock it. She would give me a key and then lock the side door so I couldn't get in. So I'd have to ring the door. It was frustrating. And so I remember coming home one night, and then like the window's broken.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell happened to the window? And she's like, oh, your sister got locked out, so she broke the window to get inside. I'm like, and you didn't what? I couldn't do that.
Because she's a girl.
Also too, I was taking out the garbage. I was doing chores.
God, so you pretty much, she was doing chores and you're gonna try to. You ain't shit, dog.
Really, Tami, what's your brother like?
Tran, actually, like when we were younger, he was pretty good. He was pretty much my like
protector.
My right hand man. I was vexed when he went to school because they wouldn't let me go to school with him, and he was literally like my only friend. And I was like, "Where are you going?"
So what happened? What changed?
He's still like my best friend, but like I think like everything changed after like I made him swallow like a quarter.
Yeah, that'll make you change.
Literally, it'll actually make you change.
Yeah, he almost died. No big deal.
That was like when I was like, what was it, like 6, 7?
Yeah, I think you're like 6 or 7.
And you just held on to that forever?
Yeah, I almost died. Yo, you don't understand, like, first of all, she thought it was one of those like chocolate ones. Yeah. So she dropped it down. I couldn't breathe. I ran outside to see my mom. My mom thought I was playing around, and her being Jamaican, she starts beating me because you're playing too much. I'm like, and she's like, no, seriously. I'm like,
Yeah, he was actually dying.
He's choking, and then she just goes wild. She just starts running around the complex. Like, my baby. Oh, I'm like.
To be fair though, like that, I thought it was the chocolate, and like you opened your mouth, so you're greedy, and craving.
So I get blamed for you for attempted murder.
No, open your mouth.
Okay, cool.
I'm just saying.
Check the foil.
Exactly.
I might be like, I might not be shit, but my sister hasn't tried to kill me.
I didn't try to kill him.
Actually, I only broke your pinky just once because I won at Mortal Kombat and he got mad and plugged it out. So I just said okay and just fucking smacked him. And then our dad had to take us to the hospital. He's like, "What happened?" He's sitting there crying. I'm like, "Nothing."
That was you. That was Sam. Like I was playing funny with Sam, and Sam like
No. I was winning at Mortal Kombat. You guys are playing with me, and you got upset because obviously your little sister beat you at Mortal Kombat. So it's like a thing.
Disrespect on the streets.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." You just like whipped it out, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm done playing," and I'm just like, "Oh, okay, me too." And just cracked that thing.
That's equivalent.
Oh my God.
That's why you never get a black woman angry. She'll come way harder.
Again, this is why Shoyan hates black women because he
I love how that's the running joke on this podcast. That I'm like,
Shoyan's low-key R. Kelly too.
What? Whoa!
You're pissing on bitches?
Yeah, you know when we were younger. That was like multiple times.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Say how old we were. Don't make it seem like
we were younger. We were
okay. Like how old were you and how old was I? Like,
I was 6, you were 8, and then you did.
Okay,
that's old enough to make it.
No, hold on. Okay,
Thank
so
you. He knew the fuck what he was doing, and he told me he was gonna do it before he did it too.
Oh, word! You really just like trip.
Yeah, why you want to take it to the maximum now?
No, but like you do some weird shit.
God. Hey man, I'm not trying to kink shame you, bro, but that's her sister.
No, it was a kink.
Whoa,
He does some weird stuff too. Like when we were
down.
younger, we did some weird shit. We like dissected like bees and stuff, and like I remember one time we got our laundry switch and he was wearing my underwear.
Okay.
Yeah, we did
progressive household.
No, not really.
Jamaican household I've ever heard of.
No, like we
He was like, he was
yeah,
with
no,
the
I
laundry.
mean, our parents are not that progressive. Like, I've heard messages from my father that said he'll like what did he say to one of our brothers? Like if they turned out to be gay, he said he would beat him.
No, that was grandpa.
Oh,
Well, see,
yeah.
You know, you
Jamaicans.
yeah.
Our grandparents are dead, so we never got those threats.
Oh, what a shame.
Like pretty much.
Like there was a point though when me and her were like teenagers though, like we could not get along at all. Like we would get in fights where like we would almost destroy the house.
Well, you would. I would just be like, okay, he punched the wall. I didn't do shit. Like, okay, or like, so, like.
Well, I'm not gonna like beat. Like I wouldn't.
No, like I knew you wouldn't hit me, but then you'd get upset and like destroy the house, and I'd just be like, okay, she's just gonna come home and yell at you. I'm just gonna be over here.
I think the last time we got into a fight, like an actual fight, was maybe like 10.
Yeah, I was 10. You were like 12, and like Shreya like gave me a black eye.
No, because this is what happened. So she tried to get
R. Kelly and Chris Brown.
Whoa, no.
Mainly just Chris Brown. Like, you used to beat me up.
Hey, let's not
but like,
have that narrative. Okay, first of all, she used to hit the shit out of me. She used to like punch me in the face and then like walk away and just because she's like my mom's around, like you can't hit a girl. She kept on doing it, and one day I wasn't having it because one day me and her argue. She just fucking hits me in the stomach like as hard as she can.
I don't even remember what the argument was about.
And I was like, I went on my knees. I'm like, I'm not having it today. I get up. She's walking away. I'm like, and I don't know if I called her name or something like that, but I was like, and I was like, bam.
Yeah, and he did.
She dropped, and I knew. I'm like, I honestly thought I killed her. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I was like, and my aunt came up. She ran and she's like, Shoyan, you killed your sister. Your mom's gonna kill you. Your mom's gonna kill me.
Yeah. Yo, honestly, I can remember that feeling.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
it was a horrible feeling, dude.
No, that's the worst to have have your angry Jamaican mother to come home from doing a double, like late night. You're like, I'm like, you get a bad report card or you get anything. You might as well. I'm not coming home.
No, but like from the day though, like I was like your ride or die though, because remember that kid when we went to that soccer game and like he like purposely kicked you with his cleats. I was trying to run up on that court, like or the field or whatever.
Yeah, but you couldn't have done anything, my nigga.
I could have did a lot.
I remember the one time in like elementary school, there was this one little white boy who was like fucking with you.
Yeah.
And like he would like she comes up to me and she's just like, oh, this kid's picking on me or whatever, and I run and like I see him like messing with her and I like grab him by like his collar and like lift him up. I'm like in grade 7. I'm like, if you fucking touch my sister again, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to fucking kill you, and I don't care if you call your mom, call your dad, call whoever. By the time they get there, I'm still gonna kill you. And then like he ran. Did he fuck with you after that? No, right?
I don't think so. I mean, honestly, I don't. You know, weed's such a beautiful thing. I don't remember much.
Okay, so tell a rumor for so do you remember like Joey Taco?
Yeah.
Okay, Joey Taco told me this rumor that like when I left Alpha and you were going there.
Yeah.
I would shout out this school, but fuck that school 100%.
Didn't you just shout it out?
Right? Basically.
You just said it.
We just said
I said I would shout it out to school.
No,
But you low-key shouted it out when you said I went to Alpha.
Whatever. I'm just naming the school so everybody knows it's a fuck school.
In Burnaby.
We all know it's a fuck school. Come on.
That there was a girl who was messing with you and you like slammed her head into the lunch table in the lunchroom.
I like your anger.
Honestly, I don't even think that was true because I don't think I've ever fought anyone actually my entire life. Like I think people, to me, the perception even throughout high school and as I got older, people would just look at me and be scared, and it's just like I'm not like. And then they start talking to me like, "Oh, you're cool shit," and it's like, "Oh, why?" They're like, "Oh, you just look like you could fight," or like you
Resting
look like,
bitch face.
you know. And I'm like, "Oh." I'm so sorry. It's the moisturizer. It's just setting the face so well. But I've never actually fought anybody my entire life. I've never raised a hand to anybody.
He made it sound mad dramatic, like she had been messing with you and you grabbed her by her ponytail and said, whack, 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 whack. I really wish that was an actual story because I'd been like, I was so proud. I'm like, that's my sister.
No, I don't like to actually physically fight. I will fight you with my words and I'll hurt your feelings. But I won't physically fight you because if I get in your head enough and if I fight you that way, I'm messing you up way more than any bruise could.
My sister's all about the mental trauma.
I'm about everything. I like to break you down physically, mentally. I want you to rethink your life every day.
We heard what you did to Tami. We know.
Whoa. That wasn't...
No, but that wasn't that bad.
She used to beat the shit out of me. Like
Tran has a scar on his forehead from me when we were
see? Gosh damn. I'm like... I do like... She beats me like a runaway slave, and then I punch her, and it's like, oh, no, you're a beater. You're one beater.
Yeah, for like every 10 hit, like Tran hits me like once, and then like it's just like
past tense. Like
allegedly.
No, but I love him. Like literally, he's my best friend.
Like, come on.
It's just sprinkle a bunch of allegedlys on this motherfucker real quick.
Allegedly. No, like, past tense. It would happen before. Like it's not happening again.
Well, with all of that, like, how was your guys' experience growing up, like as black girls and
that was a very smooth transition.
I'm a very
not.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Anyways, back to the topic at hand.
Wow, you're just gonna really do it like that? Okay, cool.
Growing up as a black girl in Vancouver kind of like sucked for me.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Yo, real talk.
It is.
Trying to get the money for the rent.
You ain't know.
When the Cadillac gas money spent.
You ain't know.
Got a whole bunch of bitches talking shit.
You ain't know.
That's a great movie.
It really is.
Yeah.
I feel like it was just really weird after like my cousins left, like when Malika and like Alicia left, like I literally had no black friends. I had like maybe one black friend when I went to Tweedsmuir and
You didn't have your shadow?
Wow.
Well, I did, okay? First of all, when I was younger, I was a lot lighter. Like I was like maybe like Gerald's complexion.
You were.
And like people thought I was half
you were
white.
like you were like you were like lighter than Gerald. You were like you look like Sunny D, my nigga. Like, that's what you look like.
Melanin popping, okay?
I mean, finally,
regardless, it's popping.
Okay, I mean, you just look. I swear, you had the same color of like Pikachu, my nigga.
Anyways, back to what I was saying before your rude ass interrupted. It just It was weird. This was like because like people thought I was half white when I was younger, and they're like, "Oh, is Shoy and really your brother?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, where's your dad?" Blah, blah,
AKA
blah.
I'm black as shit.
Yeah, and it was just really weird. And like they're like, "Oh, why is your hair like this?" And then I remember having like this really good friend, like Rachel from like daycare, and we went to like elementary together, and they're just like, "Why is your hair in braids?" And the other day, like your hair was in like little clips. I'm like, "Cause it is." Like, is this your real hair? And like I would hate talking about people about like my hair because like it just wasn't a thing, and like I feel like so much stigma behind it, and I still feel that weird like way now. Like I hate taking out my hair and going out in public because then people are just like, "What happened to your hair?" Because there's so much fucking white people, and they're just like, "Can I touch it?" And like, no, bitch, back the fuck up.
Puts you on the spot too. It's almost like you're just put on all the time to the point where it's like, I didn't ask for no fucking interview today.
Exactly. Like I don't ask you about your hair. I don't ask you about your child with a nose piercing at like grade 1. Like, excuse you, mind your business.
Who's giving her child a nose piercing in grade 1?
Oh, I had this friend Jasmine, and she had a nose piercing.
Oh
in grade
yeah,
1.
she's a character.
Which Jasmine?
Oh, you don't know Jasmine?
No, you
Maybe I don't know.
No, you don't. Actually, you might. I mean, she. Real G's moving silent like lasagna.
I'm not putting that out into the universe, but like it's a possibility that you might have run a.
Yeah, she. I think she has a full lifetime membership to the streets.
Okay.
She's been renewing that Costco card.
I don't know if that's still like a thing. I don't know, but I'm just.
I mean,
saying
she had a long standing membership. She had a lot of air miles or street miles, I should say.
Yeah.
Damn, that sounds like a ran up odometer and shit. Like, like 200K. 200K, the engine kind of work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's weird.
saw on like fucking marketplace on Facebook. Like,
Oh my god. How did you feel like growing up as a black girl?
Honestly, oh Lord. Well, damn. Let me.
let's unpack everybody that. Settle in. Everybody settle in. It's gonna be a little bit.
Okay. You know, I felt from a very young age, I was very aware that like there's nobody around me that looks like me. There's other people and other girls who don't understand. Like, yeah, like I want to go swimming too, but I can't get in that motherfucker. Like my hair, like, and you know, different little things that I think that a lot of people are shook now because they realize like the level of ignorance they have and still continue to have.
Yeah.
But I felt like growing up here, a lot of people, because I am lighter skinned, a lot of people thought I was white. A lot of people thought I was half white. A lot of people. When I switched high schools, I had to fight a kid in the middle of the fucking field because he's like, you must be mixed. And I'm like, I'm mixed with bitch and you're about to get this fucking hand. Like, don't you? Like, he would just, and that's the thing where they think that a lot of people have this problem of, when you see a black person, you're gonna now interrogate them into, oh, where's your background? Where are you from? Where's your dad? What, like, who the fuck are you and why are you inserting yourself into my business? Like, I don't think people understand that, like, not every black person you meet wants to talk to you, wants to discuss their hair with you or their experiences with you. Like, this ain't no fucking Barbara Walters, bitch. Like, this is not, you know, it's
Wendy
not.
Williams, how you doing?
And
like,
it's kind of to the point now where I look at it as a child, like the amount of things I did as a young girl just to try to assimilate to some sort of proximity to whiteness.
Yeah.
Just, you know, the amount of hair I burned off my poor fucking head. The amount of times I've gotten makeup that just looks horrendous. Like I mean, RuPaul would have just slapped me straight in the face.
Well, we're not talking about RuPaul either because he's kind of coony. So.
But the blendage was not there.
Yeah.
But just the amount of different things I know that I had done just to feel safe in a way, because it's like, you don't want to stick out too much because then no matter what, it's, oh, you're too loud, you're too passionate, you're too angry, you're too emotional, you're too much. And it's like, let me ask you this. Are you enough? Do you really think you and your blandlessness is enough? Do you think that being the kind of person you are and being as ignorant as you are about other people in the world, like, and I think in Vancouver, people are so ignorant about black people because there's not a lot of us, especially when we were younger. When I was little, like maybe 5, 6, there were. But then everyone up and moved to Toronto. So all mom's friends, all the girls who did my hair.
Don't worry, they coming back. They're coming back.
They're coming back.
They realize Toronto ain't that shit.
Yeah. It's just lame though, because like I remember like even like when you said like going swimming and stuff like that, my mom made me put like this like that was like swim caps that you use for like the Olympics.
Yeah.
I used to hate that because none of my friends had to do that. And I'm like, I don't want to go swimming if I have to do this. She's like, Tamara, your hair. And I'm like, but I don't want to like at all, and it's just bullshit. And then I remember like thinking about like even growing up, like it would like boys like me because there's literally no black boys around, like unless it's like your cousins or like your older brothers. And you're like, okay, and just like remember like just seeing boys and like, oh yeah, you're cute, but like I wouldn't make an approach because like I'm a little black girl. Like they want that little white girl Becky.
So you approach, you actually holler at guys?
Oh, I holler at guys now.
Do you, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm so like intrigued like when females say that they holler at guys because I find out what how they view like actually approaching a guy is completely different than what we think of approaching a guy.
Just because
like,
I'm not catcalling you does not mean I'm not trying to holler.
no, but I'm saying
that's not
like, no. What I'm saying is like sometimes like a girl or I mean a female will just like put herself like out there like say like maybe be like close to you or closer than the average person. They think that's enough. Like I'm here. I'm face forward and I give him a little smile. It's like that's
not a holler.
That's not really hollering. That's just putting yourself to be seen.
No, I'm assertive as fuck.
So say you were, because I mean you're in a relationship, happy relationship.
Both of y'all are actually.
Yeah. So both of you, yeah. So how would you, if you were to holler at a guy, how would you do it?
Usually, like I'm in a club setting, I'm like, "Oh, what's up? How you doing? How's your night going? What are you doing like later? Do you want to hang out or something?" If we get to that point, because I'm not gonna try to like sugarcoat it. I like to get direct to the point. Like I don't like small talk.
Shit! Yo, where are these? Where are these?
But we've had this conversation before, though. Usually, like talking about like how I get mad at you, like how boys like play games and shit. Like I mean, Cammy, you think too logically and you're too direct. You need to play a little bit more games. I'm like, I don't like that.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that whole the game thing. I don't like that shit. Like, it's really
you do. Like I've went from not playing the game for 90% of my life to play the game, and it works. And I hate that it works, but it works. Like you like anyone that doesn't think that like dating or relationship it's a game, and it's like the thing is like the reason why I feel like you have to like remind yourself it is a game because like there's always like some type of like fun in the game. Like not every part of the game you're gonna like, but there's all like when you're thinking of the games, usually there's at least one aspect of the game you can find fun,
exciting, yeah.
And as long as you find that, then you can deal with all the other shit. Because honestly, like me, example, like texting back and forth, not my thing. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. Right. Like why am I gonna have a 3-hour conversation with you when it could have been done in 5 minutes?
Right.
And like, no, and two, I can't type.
No, you can't type. This motherfucker. Oh my god.
It's like reading Braille, but like
it's like if someone was having like a fucking like a Parkinson's attack and
or
they're
like
stroke and they're texting somebody for help. That's what Shoy And's texting is like.
Okay. Literally. Oh my god.
Yeah, but do you guys get it though?
No.
I'm pretty sure you guys did it. You guys got my texts today, right? To get here.
This is a lot better.
You voice memo everything now.
Okay, so you guys figured it out.
Not you actually text.
Okay.
Yo, let me call Jezreel right now.
Okay, cool. Like,
Does he be like?
We gonna call me out.
I feel like 90%
I called myself out.
I feel like 90% of the time that like when the things didn't work out with you from girls from before, would just because straight off texting because they'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
honestly, like I can name. I was talking to this one time. This nice, beautiful young lady. I'm not gonna say her name.
We didn't ask.
And she don't ask either. She don't want to be put on.
Yeah.
She probably eventually. You know,
anyways, continue.
And I was on like everything was going good, and then I was like, I looked at them like, I just like seen like the history of messages. I'm like, God damn nigga. I'm like, ESO level 2. But
you're in a special class.
But that's what you know what though what that does is I just end up just forces me to call them. So and most
you don't even like having conversations in person.
No, I do like, but just be interesting. Like the thing is like most people like I think people like conversation. It's an art, and the thing is like for me it's like I like boxing, football, and like those things. But example, if I'm talking to my sister, I'm not always gonna talk about like I can talk about that all day, every day. But I respect her enough that I'm gonna try to talk about other shit. And it's a lot of people in conversation, they always talk about the shit that they're into. I'm like, I don't want to talk about freaking cars for 2 hours. I don't give a fuck about transmissions.
Just common denominator and stuff.
And that's the thing. It's like me, I can talk about everything. So it's like I feel like I'm a pretty good conversationalist. And like some people are.
Do you?
I'm pretty good.
No, okay.
Calm down, my nigga.
Do you guys talk to your friends that are not like black about your issues that you grown up with? Like, remember, like
Yeah, I always
like,
did.
Yeah,
Always
it's
did.
like like Pat and Vic, right? Like
Yeah.
they're like so they're two of my like closest friends. Victor's Chinese and Patrick's like Brazilian, right? So like most of my friends growing up, they were for the most part nobody was really white, like except for like Landon, and that kind of fucked up. And but like we've talked about it. Like we have these conversations. And it's funny because when I have these conversations with all my friends who aren't black, but they're like a different nationality, we all have the same issues.
Everyone's over white people. Let me just say that right now.
But like, is that like a recent
Justin,
topic?
you cool.
And I have a white man, so I'm gonna say that.
But hold on. I don't think so. I don't think they're all the same issues. Like I feel
very
like
similar.
I feel like everybody like we sometimes we do ourselves a disservice by doing that. Like we're
Lumping
like,
ourselves.
Like the thing is like in my opinion we're lowest on the totem pole. Like yeah, there's people that are like second, third, or whatever, but we've like I feel like we're the only like race that is globally like wherever you go, there's resentment.
Yeah.
There's like, and the thing is like I don't think you could say that about Asian people because like sometimes like if you go to Asia, they popping.
Yeah.
You could even go to Africa and niggas are still hating on niggas.
Yeah.
So it's like I think just the disdain for us, like that's been built, that's been like through propaganda and all these things. Like it's a little bit deeper than everybody else. Like they can get it, but they're never gonna feel it.
No.
It's like, and that's the thing. It's like the only place you like, and like even like you go to Europe, the places that are usually poor and like disadvantaged are the places that have predominantly black people. It's not like there's the only place you can go really in like is like Africa, and there's some like resemblance of like wealth and stuff like that. But even like them, it's like a lot of their stuff is still connected with like the whole European
Union
like
and
so
stuff.
it's like I feel like we're the only group of people that can't like we don't have something strictly for ourselves.
And every time we
No.
do get something for ourselves, it's always like co-opted. Like I think of like because
Gentrification and stuff.
yeah, like for something like not even just gentrification. Like I look at like hip hop for example. Somebody who like works in that medium and stuff. Like seeing like I was talking to somebody about this, an artist about this. It's like I remember growing up, the biggest acts that came from here were the Rascals, Swollen Members, and Nelly Furtado. Black group, Black Latino group. Most Swollen Members was mostly black except for Mad Child, and Nelly Furtado was like Portuguese.
Yeah, she.
No, but I'm just saying as a Portuguese who pushed a lot of like indigenous culture things when she was started, right? Fast forward like 10, 20 years, now every major artist who gets to come out of here is white.
But I mean,
Right? But what I'm saying is that like, and that's just locally what I've seen here. But if you look at like something like the idea of like, that was something that was started by a group of black people to talk about what the struggle was, right? This shit gets big, people start to like it, then you have everybody sticking their hands in and shit. And now it kind of doesn't, it's for us, but it's not for us. It's for like, it's entertainment co-opted for other people, essentially.
well,
right?
I mean,
Oh, so like you're bastardizing what we created, essentially.
Yeah, essentially, right?
But
It's
the
like
thing
taking
is-
something that we created that was supposed to talk to bring awareness to like, yeah, you can have like, there's different genres like party shit, happy, whatever. But like taking something that was basically talking about the things that were happening in our communities to bring awareness to that. Now in like 20, 30 years later, it's like a bastardized version of that where it's really just something as entertainment sold to white kids.
well, I mean, but it's always been so like black people weren't buying records.
Yeah,
like
we were.
and like 90%
When
of
DMX, no, bro, nobody bought DMX's record except for black people. When DMX was popping,
that is not true.
Bruh.
Like, I'm saying if you
Have y'all never watched Malibu's Most Wanted?
No, I'm saying if you look
Yeah.
at
There's definitely some white people buying DMX's album.
yeah,
No, I'm saying if you look at like sales, like most people that actually buy and consume hip hop
Are white.
was always white.
But,
But it was
But
always
it's
white.
entertainment for them, and they're not.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think that's where, in a sense of like, for example, like in the sense of like hip hop and like creativity, and like obviously like everyone can have an opinion and love what they love, and be interested in things. But I think some people really overstep their boundaries in a sense of like, okay, like, are you appreciating what this person is saying and taking it and trying to understand it, or are you just like, oh, this is dope, this is the beat? Like, you're not really actually like understanding what the person is, like what they're artistically trying to show you. And I think that that's where a lot of people kind of get themselves messed up in a sense where, you know, when it comes to music and Black culture, it's like, this is the room that we have had for ourselves, and nobody opened the door for you. Nobody, like, I think, and that's where, like, a lot of people, and me personally, it's like, I'm cool to share things with people, but I feel like sometimes it's like, it'd be nice to just have something for yourself. It'd just be nice to have something for yourself. And it's no different than in the fashion industry. You have Black designers getting their shit stolen by these huge companies, and then and they don't have the money or the manpower to go and fight these multi-million lawyers from this one company when they're ripping them off, and it's very blatant. And it's kind of just like, okay, like you love us when you love us, you hate us when you hate us, but you could never be us, but you want to be us when it works for you.
A good example of that is like Dapper Dan. How Dapper Dan in like the early 2000s was like creating all like the Gucci suits and all that stuff. And then like he got sued by like Gucci and Louis and whatever. Fast forward, these guys are doing the exact same thing that they sued him for, and like he had to fight to get them to give him the money that they were stealing his
or even
designs
just the
off.
credit. I think that's just
There's a credit thing too.
The money is a big part, but it's just the credit. Like, you can't take people's ideas consistently from them, rework them, and then say like, oh, I made it better. Listen, flavor is flavor and sauce is sauce. If you don't have the sauce, you just don't have it. And I think that's where like people get themselves really fucked up, because it's like, you can walk around thinking you have the juice, but you don't have it. And you know you don't have it because what you have is, what you have is inauthentic. And it's not, it's what your interpretation as a white person or a person of a different ethnicity that is not Black, interpreting Blackness. So that is open for your interpretation to say, okay, well, I think I imagine Black people like this, or Black women like this, or Black men like this. And then you just take that interpretation and work with it, when it's like, that's so one-sided, because there's a hell of a lot more to Black people than what is seen in media, what is seen in movies, what is read in books. And the funny thing is, a lot of these motherfuckers out here don't know shit, because they don't read a book. They haven't picked up a book and actually read words coming from a Black woman, a Black man, even an Indigenous person, an Indigenous woman, a Chinese man. Like, it's just like, you know,
it's assumptions.
It's 2020 is that year where I'm sitting
just
back and just watching people squirm and watching everybody act up and look around and be like, oh, I had no idea this was happening to you, and oh my God, I'm so sorry that this is happening.
I feel like sometimes they do that just to like get rid of their own guilt, but it's not even like properly, because like they will still see you in that light, and the assumptions that they're making of you are only the assumptions that they take that are negative. They never see like the stuff that like are good about you. Like if like people like talk about like boys in the hood and stuff like that, they never see like the actual good about it. All they see is the gang violence. They never see like when you're looking at like what's it called? That movie with NWA. They don't see like what they went through to go through like, all that shit. They only see like, oh yeah, they're just gangster rappers, blah blah blah. And like they just made like Oakland a horrible place to live.
No, it's no different than Black girl wears, you know, hoop earrings, ghetto. White girl wears it, fashion. What?
Well, exactly.
What?
You don't see the history behind it and why we got there. Like you don't like take the moment to like listen and like think about what the fuck you're like taking.
It's so disheartening in this world, seeing so many people, especially in like when I was, you know, getting back to like the question you asked me about growing up as a Black woman in Vancouver. I was so disheartened trying to date, because I would go out with my girlfriends and we were very, you know, we called ourselves a little UN, because, you know, we're all different. We're, you know, one of us, I'm Black, the other one's half, you know, half Persian, half, you know, German. The other one's,
keep it away from Cheyenne.
You know,
Let's keep it positive.
But, you know.
What do you mean? Yeah, shout out to the Persian women out there.
Yeah, but, you know, we're all so different. And every time we go out, men would just flock to them, and I'd be just, like, completely ignored. And it got to the point where I would never forget, I went out for a friend's birthday, and I mean, I get the Kardashian-esque look, and the, you know, racial ambiguity look is very, like, hot right now. And, like, you know, yes, let's look plastic and look whatever. But before, when we were younger, it wasn't a vibe, though. Like, you wouldn't have curves. If you had curves when we were, like, growing up in, like, the 90s and 2000s, you're like, oh, she's fat. Yeah. But, like, now, like, if you have curves, you're like, oh, damn, shawty. Oh, yeah. You're like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm talking, like, probably, like, what, like 8 years ago, maybe? Yeah, it's, like, my early 20s, and it was just, like, seeing men go after women who clearly spent money to try and look a different culture, different race, when you have a person who's full-on authentic sitting right here. And that's where I was just kind of like, okay, so you want a white woman who thinks she's a Black woman, but is very obviously a white woman trying to be a Black woman when there is Black women here? Or like when they want to date you and they're not like Black, they like literally just want to date you because like it gives them street cred. Fetishizing is a thing. And it's like I was just like, I'm not like your fucking trophy. I'm like a human being. I've never dated a Black girl. You're never gonna. Yeah. Right? Like gonna. I would love to make it with a Black girl. That's nice. You're so pretty for a Black girl.
What a great compliment. Thank you.
Great.
You know, it's just surprising to me is like people were like doing the light skin thing with you because like out of both of us, you're obviously darker than me.
Well, now I am.
No, but even growing up, you were still darker than
I
me.
think so, but I think as a woman, I think a lot of people just have, and I think that's another thing too, is a lot of people don't understand boundaries and understand that like you can't just be asking random people like, yes, you see a nice woman and you want to go approach her in the right way. Don't be trying to like kind of like people have this weird thing of trying to tell you about you. And it's like, no, you must be half white. You must
Fortune
be half
teller
white.
ass niggas.
And it's just it's like, oh, so you would
you
like
must
me
be
to be half
Cherokee.
white because that would be more attractive to you. Because if I was just full on blackly black, which I am, then it's a disbelief for you. It's just like, oh my God, I can't, what? No.
Yeah.
So
You can't have pretty features if you're full black.
no.
I'm not.
I used to get made fun of because of my lips.
Me too.
I'm just like,
I used to
bullshit.
clown you about your lips.
I mean, but like your
you
family.
still clown me about my lips.
Oh, I do. I mean, I'm not like if I'm getting you guys prepared for the world.
like,
They're
how you
grown
be-
up.
Been in. What do you mean?
See, like if I can't make fun of you guys, how you can be able to handle the world? Like think about it. I'm way harder than you than the world is.
Okay.
Yeah, but like
I like
feel
how you.
I'm like your guys' Yoda.
I like how you explain your like emotional trauma.
It wasn't even trauma when Shoy used to make fun of me because I'd just be like, shut up, whatever. Like, the only thing that actually bothered me is when he would make fun of my forehead. But, like, when I was younger, like, I grew into it a little bit, thank God. But, like actually getting made fun of my lips when I was younger, like, literally pissed me off because, like, what? You're
Yeah,
I
we're
can't
the
help
same.
it. Like, I don't get it. We're not the same.
It makes me laugh now.
You're like not today.
Yeah.
No.
That shit made me laugh because it's like you laugh and then you go and spend hundreds of dollars for this shit I had naturally.
Dead.
I love it.
And I
Look
see
at
girls
God.
look at them. They look stupid. They like have like those Pringle lips and like their lips be like
Look
I
at
don't get it.
God.
Like, how did you?
Nah, it's not attractive. It's not.
But for me, I'm not even worried about the credit. That I just want the money. Like just
Yeah,
like
straight up.
I just want people to, like I just want us to own our own shit. Like that's my only problem. Like example, like why is like Michael Jordan has like significantly like changed the face of like Nike. They were like a nothing brand. They were worth like probably less than maybe like $50 million, and he's made them like
Billionaires.
like numerous. Like they're almost $1 trillion company now,
Almost.
and he's not even in the top like I think 20 like shareholders in the whole company.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, and that's a Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, so like that's the thing. It's like I feel like every culture should have their shit. Like whatever they're bringing to the world, they should own that shit. So whether it be like example, like I know, like a lot of Chinese, they make a lot of stuff, so they own a lot of those industries. I'm not mad at that if like the richest motherfucker in freaking manufacturing is Chinese. I'm like, that's your people's shit. Do what you do.
Made
If
that shit.
example, if like the people like if you making country music, it shouldn't be a brother named fucking Jamal in New York making the most money off of it. It should be
Actually.
like Toby Keith or one of those people that like have sex with their cousins.
Actually,
Country music. A lot of country music comes from like. It's kind of like.
the branch of the blues.
Yeah, I
Blues and
know
those
it comes
classes.
from that, but you know, I mean, like,
I'm just saying, if we're talking about getting paid, we should
like
probably
if
get
we're
paid for
like
that
we're not
too.
gonna take we can't like
gave you
like
everything.
that's when you start getting into the whole like, well, we're black, we were the first ones here, so we like own everything. It's like that's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. Like I feel that we all need to freaking like make our like connection back with Africa. Like I feel like that's make those connections and then and build within and stop depending on North America to help us. Like we're never gonna get reparations.
No.
We just need to suck it up.
We just need to do better as a whole.
What do you? Well, yeah, I agree with that. That we definitely need to like try and do better as a whole.
But also, too, we live in a society that's built to destroy us anyway. So even if we would do the best in our heads and the best to our abilities, it's still understanding that you live in a world and you live in a society that was built for a man that is not you and does not look like you. And it's been like this since countries have been around. So it's kind of that it's at that point where it's like, you know, do your best, but like when does taking these systems in place down to make it fair for everybody, when does that change happen? Because you can get in the door, but like once you're in there and the lineup is like, no, we're not taking you, then what? Like,
I just don't think that we can ask them for that anymore. Like it's just like we don't have any like they've never showed us any faith in doing it. So I feel like we can only build within each other because they never like. I think even like when I look at Jewish people or a lot of Asian culture or even like East Indian, I think the reason why at least in North America they have a little bit more clout than black people is because like worst case scenario they're like, oh, go back to your country. Okay, I'm gonna go back. If right now they said, yo, go back to Africa, we're like, nigga, I can't go back to Africa. Like there's fucking no, but I mean like we don't have like any like roots or connections, and so it's like.
Yeah, because they stripped us of that.
No, but I mean, have any of us like done the work to kind of like to track that and try to like reignite those like things? Like we have to put that on ourselves. Like they're never gonna help us. Like you can't expect a system designed for you to fail to help you. Yeah, that's like counterintuitive.
Yeah, and that's why even with like the education system, it's like people, even grown people who have had their own children and their children's have had children. It's like they're now finding out historical information that nobody's been told because we have been like things have been omitted from history and from our education for a reason. There's a reason why there's all these different people that have contributed to society in the world that are people of color, black people, different ethnicities, and all of a sudden you're now finding out about this as an adult when it's like where the education system has failed everyone because now you have people walking around just really believing that the world's for them when it's like, no, it's not. There are other people in here, but you were just reading a book that was only meant for you. Yeah. So it's like
history books are like white people's self-esteem books.
Well, that's like the King James Bible kind of thing. If you read like any other religious like kind of Bible or whatever, they're pretty clear on like what Jesus looked like. You read the King James Bible, everybody's white. Yeah. That Pacific Bible that they sent all around the world that everybody read, everybody's white.
Well, that just makes sense because it's like, okay, you go to Egypt. No, like you go to all these places, these Middle Eastern places, they're not white. So that's why it's almost kind of like, even as a child, when I looked up in church and would see Jesus, I was like, that's not it. That's not it.
I went to a church in France, they have like the Virgin Mary and she's black. Like literally in like old churches.
I was like, I heard Jerusalem. I'm like, Jerusalem. I'm like, where that? I'm like, he looks like he's... Why does Jesus look like he's Swedish? Mm-hmm. Right? Like, nah, that don't work. That don't work.
What do you... So, going off that then, what do you think the most disrespectful thing you've had to deal with, like, growing up here so far was? Since we are on the plane.
People touching my hair. I don't know what in this hell... Okay, like, I'll just say a public service announcement. If you are raising children right now, today... Teach them not to touch other people, okay? Because I don't want to have to charge a child for assault, because I will, because I don't care. Yes. I don't care. You do not have the right to go and touch people. Oh, I love your hair. Oh, you look good. I'm going to touch you. That is a very slave master ass mentality you just did right there, because why the fuck are you touching me? You don't own me. You don't even know me. And that's something that is, I think, the most disrespectful thing to do to somebody.
Honestly, I'm teaching my kids, if motherfuckers touch your hair, throw hands. I don't care.
If they hit you, that's your fault.
I don't care if it's a teacher. I don't care if it's... no, don't. I ain't having that shit. I'm like... Or I remember like, even like one time, one of my teachers, she actually like would touch my hair. My mom was like... And I told her and she's like...
Yo, why would you tell mom? Mom's gonna fight.
Oh, yes. Fight. Yo, my mom was like, you should have asked her if you could touch her pussy. She's like...
I did you were saying something.
Yeah, I'm just like, just because, like, how are you gonna like be a grown ass woman, like in the middle of class, just be like feeling up like an 8-year-old's hair, like, oh my gosh, oh it's so.
I hate how they touch.
I didn't like you just touched me just now, like
exactly.
Why do they act like it's something brand new? Like we've been around for years.
White people love to act brand new. No offense, white people out here, but some of y'all. Let me make sure. Sorry. Some of you, I don't want to do that. Some of you act brand new. Some of you do it because you genuinely are brand new. Some of you do it because that is your cover-up. It's a cover-up to act brand new.
Honestly, and all the ones that act brand new, you ain't shit. That's one
y'all are ignorant as fuck. That's educate yourself.
Some of y'all. Let me just say some, please.
And the words of some of my favorite podcasters, Jesus and Meryl, to all those ignorant motherfuckers, suck my dick from the back.
Ew. Yeah. Nobody won't do that.
Love Jesus.
These, yeah, he's fucking hilarious.
No, but that's just what I'm saying. I think.
So what's the most disrespectful thing that you've come across?
I mean,
Besides,
there's a lot.
no, but it's okay.
If I'm picking one specifically from my childhood, it was like I went back to my elementary school to help out for like sports day. You've heard, and we had this old principal. Shout out Miss McQueen. I hope you died of cancer.
Damn, whoa,
like
that is disrespectful.
And I if your kids hear this or your grandkids hear this, I hope they know that I hope you died of cancer.
I went really aggressive today, sir.
So
20, Lord.
Well, so I went back to help out for sports day because half of my friends from elementary school went to like a different high school, and I went back to help out. And I was helping out, and everything was all good. A teacher asked me to go grab something for her desk. I did. I'm going back out to help. I get called into the office of the principal where she then accused me of stealing money with no evidence, no witnesses, no nothing. And then like proceeded to like threaten to call the cops on me and then like march me off the property of my old elementary school. And like in front of everybody, the entire time I'm like cussing her out, calling her like every name under the sun. I get back home and my mom already didn't like her.
She called a lawyer. She was like, I'm not doing
that. Mom,
she called the lawyer. She was like, listen.
No, you don't understand. Like, I got in mom doesn't cuss, right? So I got home. I told mom what happened. I'm like, she's like, get in the car. And I'm like, why? Where are we going? She's like, get in the fucking car. And I was like, all right, cool. So we jump in a car and drive back up to my elementary school. My mom cussed this bitch out till she cried in front of the entire school. I never felt so much love in my entire life. I'm like, my mom really loves me. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she was crying. She's like begging for forgiveness and shit. And like my mom cussing her out, and then I'm cussing her out, and we're doing it together like a tag team. It was some shit.
It's interesting how educators, they're educating, but they're uneducated in a sense of we were the only black children at the elementary school for years.
Yeah.
We were the only ones. So it's like, you don't think it's lost on this woman that you are pinpointing her child? How dare you cry?
My question is, where was the teacher that told you to, like, that sent you on this errand?
The same teacher that told her that I didn't steal shit.
Yeah.
And she ignored it completely.
Well, because also, too, the same teacher was like, how could he do that? He was in a different side of the school.
Yeah. Like I wasn't, like, they had my back. Like, the teachers that I went back that knew me, that like most of the teachers at Brentwood, they didn't hate us. They were actually
we were the only two, like everyone had siblings that went to the same school because it's Burnaby's such a small area, so everyone knew everybody and everyone lived around everybody. So we would even walk by houses and it would be the teacher's house. It would be so and so's house. So like everyone knew everybody in that area.
Yeah. So the teachers were like had our back, and the principal literally, I'm not mincing words. I'm pretty sure she was just a racist bitch.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, she literally had a problem with me when she got there. She tried to fuck around, like push you around and shit. You were like a good kid back then. You know what I mean? Like,
she's like, oh, you need to do better. I was like, I don't need to do shit for you, lady.
She tried to like tell me that I was failing English, and I'm like, bro, I'm teaching kids in a grades higher than me how to read.
Yeah, and shit.
Yeah, like I was teaching kids how to read. How you tell me I'm not good at my English class? Like, you know what I mean? She was that.
What was disrespectful for y'all? What did you guys have?
I feel like there's the disrespect, just like being myself. Like I felt like I wasn't allowed to be my authentic self because like when you're a black kid, you can't like certain things. You can't like anime. You can't.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, she was hell. Like honestly, I used to even make like besides Dragon Ball Z. Shout out to DragonAll Z and Inuyasha. I used to clown her about anime. I'm like,
you clown everybody about anything that's not just.
But she used to watch some weird anime.
Like what?
Some like big ass weeb. I watch like everything.
Like she was watching some like soap opera, like Young and the Restless type of anime where people were like getting serenaded.
Serenaded? Like
yeah. I don't. I think it was Peach Girl, but like I like watch some weird like shit, but like I go deep in that, and like people would be like, "Oh, you're so weird for like a black girl. I wasn't expecting that. Like I want you to be like, get out." And like there's like this one girl who's obsessed with like our homie Christian, and she's like, "Tammy, you're not like really black," and I'm like, "Shut up! Like get out of my face."
What was that?
I don't know.
You know, I'll tell you the name later.
I don't understand where this idea comes to tell people how black they are. You're not even pigmented. How dare you?
Touche. I mean, I feel like the most Yeah. So I think the most disrespectful thing it was very like nonchalant. This kid I pretty much got like kicked out of my school, even though I shouldn't have. But we won't. That's another story. Okay. But this guy came up to me and was like, first of all, he's like, wow. He's like, man, I've never had a black friend before. I'm like, that's not the worst. That's not the worst part.
That's not it.
Yeah, so yeah, he was like, I've never had a black person before. And then he decided to like one up himself by saying, he's like, honestly, when I first saw you, I thought you had a gun and you might shoot me. I was like, and this is like when I'm like at grade 10, I'm like, what type of motherfucker do you think I am?
And you are smaller than you are now, so like that's
if people
crazy.
don't start raising their children better, they're gonna come home to have their children real fucked up because it's like you really have your children out here asking, like talking to people so ignorantly, so crazy. Like maybe back in the day, 10 years ago, you could do it. 2020 is a new bitch.
No, but like
don't do it.
We look bad if we feed into that stereotype and beat their ass because like they were disrespecting us.
I didn't care. I would beat
I don't care anymore.
Some people you can tell they've never been hit in their life and they need to.
Oh yeah,
True.
Yeah, no one's above an asshole, but I don't care who you are.
Let's get something out of the way real quick.
Nobody's above an asshole.
If you think that you can go through life and talk a bunch of shit and not get slapped in the face, I'm here to tell you that's a motherfucking lie.
No, and honestly, like I was taught, like whatever you say, there will be a reaction. Like my mom used to, like even if I like used to like talk while she was talking, she'd look at me and she'd look at me once. If I try to do it again, she would hit me in my motherfucking mouth. It doesn't matter if it's an adult. She didn't give a fuck. And I learned very quickly. I'm like, when grown people are talking, or if you don't got something nice to say, or it could be taken like.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up. Like,
I'm not saying you should beat your kids, but you should probably beat
honestly, if your kids are acting wild like that, yeah, beat your kids maybe.
I'll never forget when I went to go get groceries. I was on Cambie and I was like, let me just go get like whatever from like Whole Foods that I really like. I don't usually go to Whole Foods, but I like love their bakery.
Honestly, they have soup there. That's fire.
Yep. Their carrot cake is the joint.
Yeah, no, it is. It actually is fire.
So good. I'll never forget being in there and having this kid like look up at his mom and be like, "Yeah, fuck you, mom." I was like, "Oh, I almost beat him for you." Like, I almost was like,
I've never cussed. I've never swore at my mom. And that being said, I would like to shout out our mother for creating us because we are amazing people. I'd like to shout out your mom for creating y'all because Tammy's cool. And Shoy and exists. And
and I think looks like we've had a pretty.
This is pretty eventful
podcast.
I feel like
we got a lot of off our chest.
Yeah, I feel it was great. I feel like we made some good groundwork and
I feel like we
push forward.
We just talk shit.
We just talk shit.
Yeah, this is episode 4.
Episode 4.
The Disrespectful Podcast.
Plain Disrespectful.
Like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at the Plain Disrespectful Podcast. This is episode 4, and we out.
And if you have any complaints or concerns, I will leave a jar for your tears, and you can send them to the address.
I don't give a fuck fund.
Yes.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was a rude ass motherfucker. See, it's supposed to be ladies first too.
Oh, it's too late for that now.
It's okay. Thank you for having us.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you both.
Your own sisters.
Thanks for having us.
I know.
And that's why we ain't shit.